Trump fires labor commissioner amid jobs data feud. Are the numbers rigged? In a surprising turn of events, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer has come forward to defend President Trump's decision to fire Commissioner of Labor Statistics Erika McEntarfer, stating that the president has real concerns about the accuracy of federal economic data. This revelation comes just hours after the monthly jobs report showed a hiring slowdown in July, with revised figures for May and June causing quite a stir. Speaking to Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan, Greer addressed the issue, saying, even last year during the campaign, there were enormous swings in the jobs numbers, and so it sounds to me like the president has real concerns. He further added that Mr. Trump's issues with government labor data extend beyond Friday's report. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports are based on surveys of households and businesses, and it's common for the agency to revise prior months' figures up or down as more data comes in. However, the May and June revisions, which cut the number of new jobs by a combined 258,000, were the largest downward change in employment figures since 1979, excluding pandemic-era jobs reports. This has led to questions about the accuracy of the data, though it doesn't necessarily mean the data was manipulated, as Mr. Trump claims. Greer defended Mr. Trump's right to fire McEntarfer, an economist who was nominated to the post by former President Joe Biden. The president is the president. He can choose who works in the executive branch, Greer said. However, the firing drew staunch criticism, with McEntarfer's predecessor William Beach calling it groundless and a dangerous precedent. Friday's report showed the economy added 73,000 jobs in July, below the 115,000 predicted by economists. The unemployment rate rose slightly to 4.2%, up from 4.1% a month earlier. The jobs report also showed a slight drop in manufacturing jobs last month, which is a concern given that Mr. Trump's tariff hikes are intended in part to boost American manufacturing. But here's where it gets controversial. When asked about July's manufacturing data, Greer, one of Mr. Trump's trade negotiators, told CBS News he doesn't read tariff policy into that number. Instead, he argued that the numbers reflect conditions prior to the Trump-backed One Big Beautiful Bill Act that passed through Congress last month. He argued businesses were waiting to see if some of the bill's tax provisions would pass, including parts that GOP lawmakers believe will encourage more business investment. I think that we're going to see a big increase in manufacturing jobs now that we have the One Big Beautiful Bill passed, Greer said. And I think that. But is this just wishful thinking? Or will the One Big Beautiful Bill truly lead to a surge in manufacturing jobs? Only time will tell. What are your thoughts on this issue? Do you think Mr. Trump was justified in firing McEntarfer, or was it a dangerous precedent? Let us know in the comments below. Republican senators react to Trump's firing of Labor Department official. Here's a big question. Why did President Donald Trump abruptly dismiss the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics? Some Republican senators are worried about the timing and the possible motive behind this decision. But here's where it gets controversial. Did Trump simply dislike the numbers in the latest jobs report? Or was there a legitimate reason? On Friday, just hours after the July jobs report was published, https://nbcnews.com/business/economy/Trump orders firing BLS Commissioner Week Jobs Report /RCNA 222531, President Trump fired Erika McEntarfer, the commissioner of the BLS. The report itself indicated that the U.S. job market in recent months had been weaker than previously believed. https://nbcnews.com/business/economy/U.S. jobs report July downward, RCNA 222442. Several Republican lawmakers have already spoken out, saying they would object if Trump's action was entirely based on his dissatisfaction with those findings. Trump defended his choice, although he provided no proof to back up his claim that the numbers were phony, and that McEntarfer had somehow inflated job figures before the election to favor former Vice President Kamala Harris. https://www.nbcnews.com/politics/Trump Gaza trade deals tariffs deadline live updates RCNA 221379 RCRD 85799 canonical card true. Follow live politics coverage here. https://nbcnews.com/politics/Trump administration/live blog/Trump Gaza trade deals tariffs deadline live updates RCNA 221379. Senator Cynthia Lummis, RYR, cautions that as the data can't be trusted, that issue should definitely be investigated, but letting the BLS commissioner go before resolving the accuracy question struck her as hasty. The president is firing the statistician because he doesn't like the numbers, but they are accurate. It's not the statistician's fault if the numbers are accurate and they're not what the president had hoped for. In a similarly blunt statement, Senator Thom Tillis, Republican Reiner, expressed his frustration. If she was just fired because the president or whoever decided to fire the director just did it because they didn't like the numbers, they ought to grow up, he said. Tillis, who has publicly said he does not plan to run for re-election. https www.nbcnews.com/politics/GOP send Thom Tillis not running re-election North Carolina RCNA 215819 was already at odds with Trump after opposing the president's so-called Big Beautiful Bill. That stance reportedly angered Trump, who even threatened to support a challenger against Tillis in the primaries. Senator Rand Paul, Republican Ohio, hearing.